Welcome to the Global Readiness Explorer, otherwise known as GREx, G-R-E-X. Basically, the GREx dashboard is a platform that provides access to a variety of integrated technology tools or technological tools designed to give individuals, organizations, and institutions the means to construct profiles that can be used to identify gaps in competence and skill attainment. In this particular instance, we will be using the GREx as a means of identifying the kinds of digital skills and complementary collaborative type skills that you will be developing as you work through the micro-credential set that is before you. We'll also use the GREx and the surveys that are found within it as a means of determining prior learning assessments so that you can determine where you actually want to jump into the set of 5 micro-credentials that we have and how to work with them most effectively for you. Just a couple of things about GREx itself. You will be given a specific URL, identifiable link that you can use to go to a specific site. In this particular case, I'm just using a group that I've set up, EI Lab pilot test that I use for just working through what does the GREx look like and how can we set it up, etc. To log in, all you need to do is just press onto the right-hand blue arrow, and that will take you into the site itself. The first thing that you will need to do is log in with a valid email address, and so I'm going to be using my Gmail address, and then you press continue. And that brings you to this particular board where I'll talk a little bit about what you're seeing, but you'll scroll down and press the start button, and that will bring you into the actual GREx itself. In this particular case, I've got 5 surveys here. In your case, you will actually see 3. So this one, the basic demographic survey, the fully online learning community survey, and the digital competency profiler, this third one that's down here. I'll just outline what's actually going to be happening here. What we can do in the GREx dashboard is mix and match combinations of a bunch of tools, creating a rich snapshot of the kinds of skills that you are working on and that you have accessed in previous times. So just briefly through the 3 main ones that I just outlined. So first, the basic demographic survey. So what you'll find with this is that it will collect demographic information about you that we can then use to actually analyze the responses that you're giving in the rest of the pieces. This is fairly basic and is designed to be as non-invasive as possible, but to allow us to figure out who you are based on the characteristics that we have. So you'd fill in your name if you wanted to. This will allow you to personalize the actual graphs, the feedback that are given from each of the surveys. And then it goes through your gender, your birth year. So you don't have to give any more than just your date of birth or your year of birth. It asks about your occupation, so the work that you actually are doing. And most of you are going to be in health occupations. You will be asked about your current role or occupation. So that is, what level are you at within those particular pieces? And then your formal education. So what kind of background, educational background do you have? The last one is, what is your area of specialization? So what have you specifically worked on? And most of you will be, I would assume, moving in the area of personal support worker or something of that nature, which deals with your particular work itself. And so what I can do is go back to those other surveys once I've completed it. And this is just an opportunity to restart, so I won't do that. But basically, once you've finished the basic demographic survey, it will give you an opportunity to actually fill in both the digital competency profiler, the DCP, and the FOLPS. So just basically, what are these about? The DCP is a tool that provides the user with a snapshot of how they use digital technology in life, how confident they feel about using the technology, and it's built around a framework or a model that I'll talk about when I talk specifically about the DCP itself. There are 4 orders of competence that you'll actually take a look at, and those are given in terms of the technical, the social, the informational, and the computational. And I'll talk about what each of those mean in just a minute in another video. The last survey that you're going to be working on is this one, the Fully Online Learning Community Survey, or FOLCS. And it is based on the Fully Online Learning Community model, and it provides users with insights about your readiness to participate in online learning communities, of which the micro-credentials are a version of. And the questions in the survey are analyzed to generate personal profile for you. And you can then take a look at your skills in terms of 4 different areas: social presence, cognitive presence, collaboration, and online space. You'll note that there's a relationship between the DCP and the FOLCS, and that the feedback that is given is in common with each other. So you'll have the opportunity to start these surveys after you've finished the BDS, and if you press on the DCP, you will end up here. And if you go into the FOLCS, it looks like this. Basically the same kind of structure, frequency of use, and confidence of use. But I'll specifically specify what's actually happening here at a later date, and go back to the GREx itself. You will also note that there are a couple of other things that you can do with the GREx dashboard. Once you have completed surveys, they will be served up to you. So there's a copy of the basic demographic survey. And essentially, if you go back into the basic demographic survey, you will see the responses that you gave from the previous time. In this particular instance, only the DCP was done. So you'll see that there are a number of times that I've completed the DCP. And if you click on the graph, you will be able to actually bring up your responses from that graph at that point in time. So that's using the submissions tab, and you can go back and forth between the submissions tab and the surveys themselves. Once you've completed the surveys on the surveys tab, it will be transferred over to the submissions tab, so you can actually take a look at the responses there. I will go through that in more detail in the DCP video and the FOLCS video. You can also log out of the system by pressing on the little profile icon that's given up at the top, and this will either bring you back to the dashboard, or you can actually sign out. So the dashboard is if you're actually in a particular location, but if you sign out, it'll actually bring you back to the original space that we had designed earlier. All right, so that's just a brief introduction to the Global Readiness Explorer dashboard that you'll be making use of for both prior learning assessment, so determining what you already know, and also for accessing the surveys so that you can actually make use of them during the micro-credentials.